directly. And we're talking a state that overwhelmingly supports their governor. And there were just a few people who did not like that. They wanted to get rid of him by any means possible, short of just assassinating him. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were thoughts of that on the left. You know, they don't get their way, and they go crazy. They go bat crazy. When they don't get their way, when something that they had and that they loved gets taken away, oh, they go ape bat crazy. I mean, look at Greece, for crying out loud. You remember Greece just a couple of years ago? You know, the government, basically said, we as a country, we're broke. No other country wants to loan us money. We can't afford all of these social programs and pay for all this social welfare. It's got to stop. And you took it away from them, and they went ape bat crazy. People even died during some of the riots. Do you not think that the same thing would happen? Look, they're going ape bat crazy already, and that's only in one state, and that's only in the IRS. Now, just imagine if more of them decide to go ape bat crazy. And I want to use another word in there. Now, just imagine. And it is not beyond the realm of possibility or plausibility. In fact, it is almost a fait accompli that that's exactly what is going to happen. If you think Occupy Wall Street was bad, wait until you get real conservatives in our government that start cutting back and taking away stuff that these liberals have enjoyed for so long. All this money, legal money laundering, if you will, taking from you and me, the taxpayer, and putting it in their own pockets. You start taking that away like Scott Walker did in Wisconsin. Now you multiply it across 50 states. People are going to go ape bat crazy. They will do anything and everything they possibly can to reverse the trend. Facts is people. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be hard to turn things around, but it's going to be much harder to keep going the direction we're going, because we're all going to suffer and we're all going to pay the price, and none of us are going to like it. But if we can turn this ship around right now, it's going to be hard. You're going to have factions like this in Wisconsin who are probably going to come knocking on your door. Now, my question is, are you going to give them the power to come to your door, or are you going to put a stop to it before they get to your door? You need to put a stop to it before they get to your door, because once they get to your door, it's too late. And I can only see it now in certain parts of the country. They start pulling this kind of crap. People are going to die. I mean, maybe they can get away with it with most with Wisconsinites, but you go up into the UP in northern Michigan and try to pull that stuff, and let me tell you something. Look, people have gotten, game wardens have gotten shot for less than that. You want to start trying to knock down people's door for no particular reason other than you want to grab their computers because you think possibly there might be some campaign donation problems there? Oh, no. And you do that like they did to some of these people? Yeah, and order them. If you listen to us, and we're here to tell you what you have to do and what you can do and what you can't do, or else we're putting you in handcuffs. No, some people are going to reach for their Smith & Wesson. And people on both sides of the badge are going to die. If this is not stopped, I'm telling you right now, folks, there are parts of this country that will not put up with this kind of stuff, and they will attempt to do it in those parts of the country if they can get away with it in Wisconsin. People are going to die. And then will finally people in this country wake up if somebody dies from this? I don't know. If an officer were shot and killed by doing this in Wisconsin, would that wake up the people of Wisconsin and put a stop to it there? Then? It's too late then. I'm telling you about this now. Because it's going to get to a point where people are going to start shooting. And people are going to die. That's my warning. And folks, unfortunately, I am rarely wrong, and I am not wrong about this one. I am almost always right. And I think if you go back and listen to the archives of my shows, you will find out that I am almost always right. And if I'm right about all the little and big stuff in the past, what makes you think I'm wrong about this one? I mean, coming to people's houses in the middle of the night, scaring them half to death when you have a dozen uniformed officers outside with guns drawn and police dogs out there, what are you going to do? And then they come in and start barking orders and trashing your house. You're probably going to start thinking, well, maybe these guys really aren't police. Because I'm not a criminal. I have done nothing wrong, nothing illegal. I have never done anything that would even assume that I did anything, make anybody assume that I did anything legal. Maybe these guys really aren't police because, we got laws in the books to keep people from impersonating officers, but yet people still impersonate officers. We've had plenty of that kind of stuff. I don't know if they come knocking on my door like that for no reason. And if I don't know them, I might start thinking there's a problem here. They may not really be cops. And then, somebody somewhere in states that do not put up with this kind of stuff are going to think the same thing, and then the bullets are going to start flying. Because, remember, cops don't do this to people, right? Cops don't shoot people for no reason. Cops don't pull over people for no reason. Cops do not arrest people for no reason, right? Isn't that what we're constantly told? Well, guess what? Here's a story out of Wisconsin. Cops do things for no reason, other than possibly politics. Because, why? Because cops are human like the rest of us. Cops can be corrupted as well. Which is why you always have to keep them in check as they keep you in check of the law. Because if you don't, they get to run amok like this in Wisconsin. And no, this is not an anti-cop rant. This is just the plain freaking truth. Because this happened to more than just a handful of individuals in Wisconsin. In other words, this was rampant. It is unacceptable, especially in the United States, where our Constitution specifically forbids that kind of action. Plain and simple. But we, the people, have to keep them in check. And you have to elect the right people in office at all levels of government. This is the first salvo. This is the warning shot right here, people. Now that this is getting out, I'm going to see how much the mainstream media picks up. I'm going to keep harping on this. I am going to harp on this. These are liberals doing this. These are not conservatives. These are not independents or middle of the road. These are not rhinos. These are liberals doing this. And I'm going to shout it from the mountaintops. If everybody else goes silent, I will not. Well, unless they come knocking on my door. Then, frankly, it might not end well. And I'm not just boasting. I'm being... Because look, folks, this cannot be allowed to stand without us, the people, putting it back in check. We've got to make a stand on this. We've got to get out there and let people know that this is happening, and we've got to demand that it stops. We've got to demand that our political leaders stop this nonsense now. And it cannot go any further. And it cannot happen again. You make them fully understand that you will not allow this type of legal debauchery to go on any longer in the United States of America. This is something that banana republics and dictatorships do. This is something that communists and fascists do. This is not what liberty-loving free people do. I mean, in this particular story, the targets were told not to tell their lawyers or their friends or their neighbors when armed cops stormed the house next door. People often wonder why, but the targets are forbidden from discussing what happened. How in the hell can you be forbidden to talk about what happened to you? There's no gag order from a judge. The cops just waltz in and say, no, you can't talk to anybody. I can't tell my lawyer? Oh, man. Oh, hell no. He's the first one I'm going to tell. If a cop tells me that I cannot tell my lawyer, I know right then and there that something is wrong. This is not legal. And it's praise Jesus and pass the ammunition and the phone. Because that ain't right. And they're not cops. They're not. Because there is no way in hell that it should even enter a police officer's mind to tell a person that they're not allowed to speak to their lawyer. What's the first thing that people usually do? I want to speak to my lawyer. And what's the first thing cops usually do? Well, they usually shut up because they know they can't go any further, and they let you call your lawyer. But these are cops telling people, you can't call your lawyer. You can't ever call your lawyer about this. You can't ever tell your lawyer about this, or we'll be back. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, come on, folks. Seriously. If you get a badged person, I'm not even going to call them cops, but if you get a badged person that tells you that you cannot even talk to your attorney, what are you going to think? Are you going to actually believe that they're a real cop? I'm not. Because there's no way in hell a cop in the United States of America is going to tell a person who they are searching, possibly arresting, that they can't contact an attorney ever about what's going on in their home. That raises all kinds of red flags to me. And again, this is something else that is going to cause certain people in certain parts of this country to, yes, praise Jesus, pass the ammunition and the phone, and bullets are going to fly and people are going to die. Because when you start adding all of this up, none of it sounds like America. None of it sounds legal. And people that are not easily intimidated but know their rights are not going to fall for it. I mean, you can do this shock and awe all you want to, but somebody's going to, after the shock and awe is over, and it ends for some people pretty damn quick, they come to their senses and figure out, something ain't right here. I got this badged person shaking his finger in front of me, threatening to arrest me and handcuff me, and telling me I can't call my attorney. And I can't tell my neighbors. And I can't tell my family. And I got to turn the news crew away that might be outside. Notice that there's never a news crew in this particular case. Look, this is not America, folks. This is, this is not America. Not my America. No, it's not. It's not my America. It's not your America. This is not the Founding Fathers' America. Hell, this is not even many liberals' America. Sure, they all probably want a one-party, rule with Democrats in charge, but to do it this way, they fully understand and realize that this is something that is far too dangerous to give to the government. They understand that there are certain things that they can be hypocritical on, and there are certain things that they cannot. This is one of those things that I think many liberals realize that there's no way in hell they can be hypocritical about it. Oh, yeah, it's only a bunch of Republicans, man. They deserve to go to jail and have all their crap confiscated. Well, hey, now a Republican gets into power, and guess who has their turn at having everything confiscated and ripped off and scared to death in the middle of the night? Look, folks, somebody isn't going to like this, and then the bullets are going to start to fly, and somebody is going to die.